need a high-end designer or a lot of money to get a luxe look. Be your own interior designer.
This is Affordable Interior Design, the podcast.
Here's your host, Betsy Helmuth.
And you have a question for me. You write, "Hi, Betsy. I'm a longtime listener and fan. My husband and I want to renovate our kitchen. I'm thinking of doing the same color, a Calcutta gold for the backsplash and for the countertop. Do you think that will make this kitchen look more modern? I am thinking rose gold or silver handles and pulls. My husband is a plumber and wants to replace the sink with stainless steel. I'm thinking to do a black faucet as a way to mix metals. Do you like the idea of having the same backsplash and countertop like the picture I provided? Or do you recommend picking a different color for the backsplash and countertop like the other picture I'm sharing? I'm open to your thoughts about how to modernize this kitchen. Also, do you recommend sanding down the cabinets and staining them?" All right, let's look. Let's look at this kitchen. So your kitchen right now has tile countertops, very dated, those square tiles. So I'm glad you're upgrading. It also has cabinets that have sort of an inset panel that has an arc at the top. Now, even if you were to sand these, you're not going to sand away that carved in detailing. And that curve at the top makes it very transitional. So unlike the pictures you provided that have the straight shaker top panel, which is just like true blunt line, this has some beveling and the arc, which means that it is a very transitional look. Now, these are also kind of that warmer, light cherry tone, which does look dated. So I do think no matter what you decide, you need to paint these cabinets to update them, especially because the Calcutta gold that you're showing me, the inspiration photos that you're showing me, which are very modern farmhouse, they're very contemporary lines. And so we're going to have to really commit to that. I love your husband's idea of changing out the stainless steel sink because, well, I can't see your whole kitchen, but if I was designing a kitchen today, which I do fairly regularly, um, I don't always love taking the countertop material all the way up, especially because you have this cool amount of wall above and around your window. And when I have that, I like to bring the tile up, and it's a little bit harder to bring that marble up because you would have some big cuts. I'm open, but I just don't love a slab of marble that does have cuts, and you're going to be hard pressed to do this in one clean face, maybe just in the edges, but I don't know. I'm still a fan of backsplash tile because it breaks things up a little bit. But it's not a deal breaker for me. So you could go ahead and do either one. Put the Calcutta gold on the countertops as well as the backsplash, or choose a different backsplash tile. I am open. The one thing I think is non-negotiable is painting these cabinets. Also, you have this little wooden valance that's hiding the light above the window. That has got to go. That looks so dated. It looks so 80s-tastic. I would highly recommend popping that out and then changing that sort of bar light fixture that's hidden behind there, like a fluorescent bar, with just a beautiful pendant. I think that would look so much more in keeping with the style you're showing me you like, and it just look cleaner and more contemporary. The one thing that really was a red light for me when I read your question is the rose gold. Rose gold is trendy. There are very few options for it. You are going to look dated very quickly. And, where else are you going to use rose gold in this kitchen? No, 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 no rose gold. I'm down with the stainless steel, and I know that you want to incorporate the black. So if you're going to mix these metals, I highly recommend that you pick one piece that's pretty visually conspicuous that has both tones of metal. So that might mean pendants above an island that are both silver and the black metal. That might be the pendant above the sink in front of the windows that I was referencing that would mix those two metals. But you need something in here that intentionally shows that you're marrying both metal finishes. Now, stainless steel appliances and stainless steel sink, I don't think personally that counts as a silver element. You could go ahead and do all the other metal tones in black and then not consider it a two-tone finished space, even though you have stainless steel. For instance, In my kitchen, I have a stainless steel fridge. I have a zinc sink, which reads as silver. And then I have a silver stove. But the colors in there, the metals, are an antique bronze and a gold, and they're two-tone. And I've used that two-tone finish in a big leafy pendant above the eat-in kitchen table. And then I've got these glass lanterns that are the oil rub bronze above the island. So you can avoid the stainless steel altogether, but if you're going to be considering it a metal, you need one place that has both tones. All right, I think I've answered all your questions. Let me just review here. Yeah, you're never going to have a truly contemporary kitchen as long as you keep these cabinet doors. It's always going to read transitional because of the arc. So you definitely want to make sure that your choices are somewhat transitional and not uber contemporary, not super geometric, because it's going to feel out of place. We do need to incorporate a little bit of curve, even if it's very clean and very contemporary. Okay, I think I've given you as much advice as I have for you, Maria. And one day I'll be walking around Brooklyn. We'll probably pass each other on the sidewalk, or I'll peer up because I love to look in these beautiful brownstones. And maybe I'll pass by your kitchen one of these days. A big thank you to Aton and the Embassy who wrote our theme song. A shout out to Catherine Heller who owns the podcast shop and is our editor extraordinaire. We also want to thank Ginny Sunasan and her team at the Savvy Podcast Agency for their help with our social, our YouTube channel, and so much more. We also want to thank Uploft, which is our parent company who supports this podcast. And lastly, we owe a huge debt of gratitude to you. Thank you so much for tuning in and for all your support.